Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. You've probably heard BitTensor, or TAO, called the Bitcoin of AI. It's a really catchy phrase. But what if it's actually more than that? What if it's a huge clue to what's coming next in tech? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig in and find out. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll unpack that Bitcoin of AI nickname. Then we'll look at what it borrowed from Bitcoin's original genius design. After that, we'll get into their very different goals, explore a wild idea about its potential growth, and finally see how these two giants might actually work together. All right, let's get right into it. That phrase, the Bitcoin of AI, what's really behind it? It's a comparison that definitely makes you stop and think. But to really get it, you've got to look past the hype and dive into the actual architecture. And the most important thing to remember is this. This isn't about TAO replacing Bitcoin. Not at all. It's about a shared blueprint. And this quote right here, it just nails it. BitTorrents is built on the same world-changing foundation as Bitcoin, but it's going after a completely different prize. It's not trying to create a new form of money, it's trying to create a new market for intelligence itself. So to really understand what BitTorrents is doing, we have to rewind a bit. We've got to look at the absolute genius of Bitcoin's original design, its core DNA. Bitcoin's whole design really comes down to these 5 pillars. It's decentralized, so nobody owns it. It's incentive-driven, using its own token to get people to work together. It's permissionless, so anyone, anywhere can participate. It's all held together by cryptography. And its value is regulated by the open market, not some CEO in a boardroom. And guess what? BitTensor copied this exact playbook. Okay, so we see they have the same foundation. Now let's talk about the single most important difference. Because this is where their paths just completely diverge. And honestly, it's as simple as this. What Bitcoin did for money, creating a decentralized protocol for value, BitTensor wants to do for intelligence. It's building a protocol where AI models and raw knowledge can be created, valued, and traded on a totally open market. And this is where those different goals really change the game. With Bitcoin, miners prove they've done work by solving these incredibly hard math puzzles. But with BitTensor, miners prove their value by producing genuinely useful AI insights. They call it proof of intelligence. And this has a huge side effect. While Bitcoin mining is now an industrial-scale operation, BitTensor is designed so that even an individual with a powerful PC can jump in and compete. Now, this fundamental difference in their design could also lead to a completely different kind of growth. And honestly, this is where the conversation gets really, really exciting. Okay, stick with me here, because this part is fascinating. It boils down to 2 laws that describe how networks gain value. Bitcoin mostly follows what's called Metcalfe's law. Its value grows steadily as more users join. But there's this other law, Reed's law, which says a network's value can grow exponentially when its users can form smaller groups within it. Since BitTorrent is basically a network of many smaller, specialized AI networks, it has the potential for that kind of insane explosive growth. And this chart really puts that potential into perspective. It took Bitcoin about 12 years to hit that magic $1 trillion market cap, following that steady growth curve. The argument is that if BitTensor really does follow the exponential path of Reed's law, it could hit that same milestone much, much faster. Now, of course, this is all just potential, but it's based on the very structure of the network itself. So let's wrap this up. The main takeaway here is not about TAO versus Bitcoin. That's just the wrong way to think about it. The future is almost certainly one where they both exist side by side. I just love this analogy. Think about it for a second. Huge foundational technologies don't always kill each other off. Often they complement each other, building something new together. They each have a different, super important job to do. And if you remember one thing, let it be this. Bitcoin has proven itself as the hardest form of digital money, an anchor for wealth. BitTorrents, on the other hand, is trying to become this incredible generative network that basically turns machine intelligence into a commodity, unleashing a wave of innovation that no single company could ever control. And all of this leaves us with a really big question to chew on. We've seen just how essential decentralized money has become over the last decade. So the question for the next decade is this: could decentralized intelligence become just as vital? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to AI in 8 minutes and never miss what matters.